Alright, welcome back to the next installment of this big tour of VGM World, still in VGM City, and we're going to start this off with the Fargodome. Now this has not been completed yet, but I feel like enough has been done to be able to show off what has been done so far. So I'm going to be putting the big entrance to it right here. That'll work out nicely. Now the Fargodome is not that popular of a stadium outside of Fargo, North Dakota, which I've never been to, but I'm just such a big stadium enthusiast that I obviously know of it because it's a pretty big indoor football stadium for college sports for North Dakota University. That wouldn't make sense if it was in North Dakota for South Dakota. But anyways, this is the Fargodome. And let me go ahead and get night vision. But this is the Fargodome here. And to my knowledge, it's the only replica of the Fargodome because, as I said, it's not that popular, which is kind of a shame because I think it's a cool stadium. And so we will be using this for some football games and concerts. Have some suites. They have very interesting suite designs. I had to try to go more for kind of like their suites, but also make it work in Minecraft. Basically, it's kind of hard to explain, but so that's that. Then you have some concourses. Concourses are actually done, and you have suite entrances along with some bathrooms. Let's see, which ones are the bathrooms? Oh wait, no, the bathrooms aren't on this part. So that's suite entrances with concourses on, concession stands on each side. More concessions. And then here's the men's restroom. And wait, hold on a moment. Why do both say men's restroom? This is the men's restroom. This is the woman's restroom. Must have been distracted. I'll change that later. But yeah, so that is that. I love these little sections that you could kind of watch the game from. Still got to build the locker rooms and obviously the entrance, but this is really close to completion. And I actually live streamed on here the construction of this venue. And you could see how I did it because I did it really quick using cloning commands from scratch. I built most of this in like a few hours, so definitely one of the fastest stadium builds. So that's the Fargodome. Next up, we're going to be going to a more famous venue. We exit out the other end, and that is, sorry if I butcher the name, it is Nippon Budokan, which I also live streamed a good amount of the construction. Unfortunately, I was having some issues with internet, so I wasn't able to clone a decent amount of the construction, but yes, Budokan, very famous concert venue. It's used for everything, but it's famous for the concerts that it's had there, like Cheap Trick and Eric Clapton and plenty of others. And it's in Japan, and I forget the name of the park, but it's this beautiful famous park. It's kind of like their Central Park, that's right in the center of Tokyo. Just beautiful. And this is in that park, that area. I just love it. I love the scenery that we have set up around it. especially in the middle of the city. It'll be extra cool once more stuff is built around here. And then we'll head downstairs. We still have the night vision on, so that is nice. I actually have it set up for Eric Clapton in here, which is going to be cool. I'm actually going to be taking out these curtains and changing the seats behind it to be black because it's more realistic because they have just tarps over the seats. But that is Budokan. The different colored seats, and then the seats behind where the stage goes are white. But you see plenty of this venue in the videos where I was building this, or the one video. But basically what I did was I built a corner of this place, or a quarter I should say, which is a corner. I built a quarter of all of the building, and I used structure blocks and cloned it 3 times to complete it, and then used some commands to change the proper seat colors. So I love how it turned out. It's one of my favorite replicas that I've done. And so next, now that you've seen Budokan and the Fargodome, that leaves one more for this video. Now, I guess a little bonus, you have this nice little warehouse that has the basketball setup as well as the concert setup for a venue that's over there a little bit that you'll see later called Palm Prism. That'll be in a later part. But here is La Zenith. I'm guessing that's how it's pronounced. Right next to that REO Speedwagon theater. What's going on? Oh, there it is. Oh, that just looked odd. It's not spawning in right, but yes, this is that. They have like an airplane here. That's kind of what I did to try to do something for it. Now, this one, the concourses are not finished, but the main area is, so that's why I'm okay with going ahead and showing this. And I have it set up for Toto, their Falling in Between tour, because that was my favorite concert that they did in here. And this is what the venue looks like. It has these cool like red kind of trusses or structural support beams. So that ended up looking cool. And I also like how this looks if I take away the potion effect during the concerts, how the seats kind of glow so you can see the theater pretty well from the stage and the trusses. So it's one of my favorite venues. It's only been used for one concert. Actually, I think I did one of the albums in here as well. But I have a big Toto concert that's going to be like 3 or 4 parts to it, each part being 2.5 to 3 hours. So one of them will be in here. But also on top of that, we go on the side of the stage here. We get this nice big staircase, because you have to go up a staircase to get to the dressing room, or the dressing room. And then I just put in just a quick little basic little thin dressing room. Sticks and Toto tour. Some of the instruments from the Toto concerts that I did, and that's the second Toto stage of this video series. But there is one more thing that I definitely got to show. So these screens here, you can do the normal color changing like that, and you can also do this. Now for some reason it's not running that smooth right now. I'll look into that, see if I can fix that, but yeah, does some quick color changing. Now I could have done a fill command to get the screens to change colors, fill and replace, but I went with a different route that I found a little bit quicker, even though I had to build an entirely separate building for it. So behind this, you have this building, and it stores all of these here, and that's all the different colors for the screens. And I made it to match the main building. And I'll go get an outside look at this place. Also up here, the roof looks pretty cool. The ceiling / roof. Oh, and by the way, this right here is the command block chain and the circuit for those flashy lights. And then I believe, is it this button? No, it is this button. There we go. Changes, turns off those lights. That way you can have the nice floodlights on that Toto has. And that's the Zenith. And then eventually we'll have something there. Again, apologies if I totally butchered the pronunciation, but that's what I'm guessing. And just a little tiny bonus. Originally, we're going to eventually get to a very important arena. It was my first like legit arena that I built. And it's been used for more concerts and events than any other venue that I've built. And probably any venue anywhere, like in any world. But originally, it had a completely different design, and in that great save disappearance of 2014 that I mentioned, we unfortunately lost it. And so finally I got around to wanting to recreate the original VGM arena design, because the one that ended up built that is now in that spot is completely different. And so that's what I'm doing here, and then I just slightly altered like the roof design to kind of modernize it a little bit. But that's going to be built here. It'll be really cool. It'll come out to about here. This area is going to be really cool once it's finished being developed. Probably like somewhere over there or next door over there. I'm probably going to build North Dakota State University's basketball arena, which is right next door to the Fargodome in real life. Pretty simple arena to build. It looks pretty cool though, and I think that would be a nice addition. And so in the next video I'm going to be showing off the Zygodome, I'm guessing that's how that's pronounced, and AFIS, what I like to call it, AFAS Live. It also used to be called like the Heineken Music Hall. And then I'm also going to show La Scala, which is my own kind of rendition of a real life theater. So that's going to be in the next part, so stay tuned.